Micromax launched a new sub-brand called U in partnership with Cyanogen, and the first phone from the brand is the Yureka. It's a budget phone available on Amazon.in at Rs 9,000 only. This is the U Yureka. Let's dig deep into it. In terms of design, it has a very steady build. In the front, there is a 5.5-inch display screen. Above it are the speaker grills, front camera and a useful notification LED light. And below the screen are three capacitive touch buttons. The sides are rounded, which give it a nice sleek look. On the back of the phone, there is a 13 megapixel camera with a single LED flash on the top and the loudspeakers at the bottom. The removable back cover is made of plastic that has a moonstone finish and feels nicer and much better than the plastic on the Xiaomi Redmi Note. Overall, it looks a bit like the OnePlus One, but a lot smoother and easier to handle. The lock and the volume buttons lie on the two sides. They work fine, but would have been easier to reach had they been placed a bit lower. The charging port is in the bottom of the phone and the 3.5mm volume jack is placed on the top. As you pick it up, it feels weightless. At 155 grams, it is quite light for its size. Overall, though it is a big size phone and lies in the phablet category, it is a comfortable phablet. Coming to the display, it has a 720x1080 HD screen. The colors and brightness are fine. However, the pixel per inch is low at 267 and that can be noticed in close examination. It has a 64-bit 1.5 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon 615 processor, 2 GB of RAM, Adreno 405 GPU and 16 GB internal storage, expandable up to 32 GB through SD card. Both the 64-bit architecture and the 2 GB RAM are rare in this price range and help the phone to run lag-free. On the benchmark tests, it did well. It landed between the phones with Snapdragon 400 and 800 like it should have. More importantly, it performed well on live practical testing. I tested a few heavy apps, all of which ran smoothly with no lags. But the phone did get heated up while playing games for a long time. Overall, it worked well enough for its price. It houses a 2500 mAh battery which ran for almost a full day on my average smartphone usage. It is also reported to have run 7 hours straight in video performance tests. That's an average performance. The one place where the Yureka disappoints is its loudspeaker. It is not loud at all. Add the fact that the speaker is placed at the back, so when you keep the phone down, the volume gets even lower. It has a 13 megapixel camera with LED flash, where it just proves that the megapixel count is just a number. With a 13 megapixel sensor, you would expect some high quality pictures, but unfortunately, that wasn't quite the case. The images in the daylight were just decent, felt a bit washed out, but the details were acceptable. But the moment you look into the low light photos, or even the indoor photos for that matter, the amount of noise in the images was unbearable. There is also a HDR mode. I personally like taking photos in the HDR mode. It balances out the low or the bright light. But here it wasn't as effective as I would like and mostly just increases the saturation levels of the image. In the video mode, it can record up to 1080p full HD videos, but the results were not any different, they were just acceptable. It also has features like the slow motion and time-lapse video, but obviously you can't expect them to work flawlessly on a 9K phone. Overall, for a 13 megapixel camera, the photos looked awful. But comparing it with other phones in the same price range, it was not that bad. Interestingly, the 5 megapixel front camera was actually pretty good, and some indoor photos from it were better than that of the 13 megapixel rear camera. Coming to the software, it runs Cyanogen, a version of Android with a new skin. The Cyanogen Mod 11 that it uses keeps a very close feel of the stock Android 4.4.4 KitKat, but packs a lot of customization underneath. Last time we saw Cyanogen was in OnePlus One. Here's a basic intro to Cyanogen Mod 11 on the Yureka. Double tap on the screen to wake the phone, swipe down to unlock, and to lock again just double tap on the notification area. Inside there's the home screen with all the widgets and the app tray button takes you to all your apps. Swipe down from the top to pull down the notification bar and swipe down with 2 fingers or from the right corner to get the quick settings where you get all the helpful shortcuts. Here in Cyanogen, you can add shortcuts on the notification bar. Just click the plus button on the top and add anything from the long list of menu. And if you want to change the look and play around with the UI, there is the theme app, where you will find all sorts of different looks. Then you have the three buttons on the bottom. In the center is the home key with back key on one side and the menu button on the other. Menu key is not there on phones these days. To go to the recently opened app, long press the menu key. Or what you can do here is to go to the settings, there find buttons, then choose enable on-screen navigation bar. Now the capacitive buttons are disabled and you get to the on-screen buttons more like that on the new Android Lollipop devices. Cyanogen's new Mod 12 based on the Android 5 Lollipop is coming out soon and it will be available on the Yureka. So what's the verdict? Is Yureka better than the Xiaomi Redmi Note? Is Yureka the best phone under 10,000? Yureka outplays the Xiaomi in every segment except for the camera, particularly the low light shots, and loudspeaker. However, in Yureka, you get a good quality display, great overall software performance, decent battery life, and even the hardware specifications are good enough to last for some time. The Yureka is priced at 8,999 rupees on Amazon India. For the price, the phone is excellent value for money. Therefore, it is better than the Redmi Note in overall comparison. And yes, unless camera is the most important application for you, as of now, it is the best overall phone under 10,000 rupees.